could you tell us about what surprises you when you when you first arrive in France?
The smoking.
Yeah.
That was very surprising, seeing how many people smoke, because it's not a really big thing in the States. So it was just surprising, especially seeing how young people started smoking. It's interesting. And the driving, how recklessly the French drive.
Alright. And any surprising habits or any cliche you discover about French people by coming here?
Not particularly. I expected more, but not really, like with the no shaving and the no hygiene, but it's not the case, so.
Thankfully. Uh, During these 6 months in France, do you make some friends?
Yeah. A lot of them are through my dad and like his colleagues and people that they know, so.
Yeah, okay. And some of these people are in a relationship, okay? What is for you the biggest difference, the biggest relationship difference between France and the United States?
Like what I notice is couples just live together. I mean, they do that in the States. Not as early as a lot of French couples do. Like my friend has been living with her boyfriend for like 4 years. So the fact that they're just living together but not married is different from the States. So I think that's the biggest difference.
Okay.
And did you expect all of that?
I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, we've heard like the French are really like sexual and like don't really care about relationships and like seriousness that much, so I didn't really know what to expect, but it's not super surprising for me, so.
Marriage is something like.
I think it depends, because some people really don't care to get married. They just live with their partners or whatever, but a lot of times marriage is like super serious. But yeah, a lot of times Americans just kind of see marriage as something, a step above living with your partner, so.
It's kind of the same thing from actually. And how Americans usually meet the partners of life?
Through work or probably any sort of social life that, or events that they do, so.
What do you think about like this type of sites that make people meet each other, dating sites like Tinder or the new one?
I think it depends on the dating site. Like there is Tinder and things like that that are kind of more hookups, but I mean there are serious online dating sites like eHarmony, or they have Christian Mingle back in the States that people do use for serious relationships. I think it could go well, depending on what you're looking for. Like my older sister is doing online dating and it's gone fine for her, but I think it depends on the person, honestly, or your kind of dating life, so.
Okay.
It really depends.
Alright, yeah.
Do you think that people actually make more meeting in the internet than in the street, in the real life?
I as you get older, you have dates more in real life, but when you're younger and you don't have as much like mobility or transportation to meet people or something, it's definitely more online or even on the phone, texting, FaceTiming, so it's not really.
And how would you prefer to meet your partners of life?
Definitely through real life, because I don't trust the internet because there are some shady people on there, and a lot of times you don't know what you're getting when you're talking or dating someone online. So I would rather do it in real life and like know what I'm getting into. So yeah.
And what do you think about divorces in USA and
I think now they've gotten pretty normal. Like it's not really looked down upon anymore, because it's such a common thing these days.
to change a few times of partner, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you said earlier that it was a pretty serious thing, marriage.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be, but when you look at someone who gets divorced a lot, you kind of get this idea that they don't really take relationships very seriously, or that they don't really.
Until it happens to you.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So I think the idea of divorce for like American society is super casual, and people are like, it happens all the time, but morally it's kind of, gives someone a face of not really respecting a relationship, a serious relationship. So
yeah, of course, but it happens.
So Claire, could you see a difference between French and American party, or at least way of having fun?
Yeah, with Americans, I don't know if it's the same with you all, but a lot of the times we're like super into drugs and like super dangerous drugs. I don't know why, but
What kind of drugs?
like the town where I'm in right now is super into bars. I don't know if you all know what bars are. It's a form of Xanax.
Yeah, no Xanax.
Yeah.
Something that makes you happy.
Yeah. It's like super big right now in Lexington, and so I don't know if that's the case for you guys, but yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think it's okay, honestly, because I don't know, drugs are just, it's fun to like drink and have fun sometimes, but I don't see like the fun thing in doing dangerous drugs. So
Do you think that people are crossing the line in the way of partying in USA?
yeah, sometimes I do. I mean, people get so stressed with school and like with jobs and everything, and I know it's the same for you all. Like, you do parties because you've had like a long week of school, and it's the same for us, but people just go like to an extent that's too much, and I think they're crossing the line with all these drugs that they're doing, because it's just, you don't need that. And
Do you have some close friends who doing drugs actually?
yeah, my whole friend group kind of is really into like big drugs. I'm not really, but it's kind of, it's depressing to watch though, because it just like ruins them, honestly. But I mean,
So you feel kind of powerless.
yeah,
Saying that.
because it starts with recreational drugs, where people just like socially smoke weed or something, but then they feel like they need more, so they go to like harder drugs, and I'm not doing that, but watching them go down that pathway is really depressing because they can't stop, so.
And in France, there are some really famous movies in America, and all the time when it's about teenagers, it's about prom. Can you tell us about what do you think of prom?
I mean, I think prom is fun. Like for girls, they like dressing up and putting on makeup and going out and having a fun time, but it's super overrated. Like a lot of people think of prom as the after party of prom. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lose my virginity on prom, or I'm like smoke for the first time on prom. And it's like, it's really overrated, but.
So it's not true. It's not happening, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
Okay.
yeah. But you know, it's kind of a overrated thing in my opinion.
All right. And what do you think about the election of king and queen of prom?
I think it's cute, but almost everyone knows who it is from freshman year. Like, there's always those.
Is it about popularity?
Yeah. Yeah, there's always those. And most of the time they're a couple. There's always that one guy and girl that have been popular in dating since freshman year, and so it's kind of predictable. So it's no fun, but it's fun for them. That's about it.
All right. And have you ever dreamed about being the prom queen once?
No.
No, never?
No, because it wouldn't happen to me.
Why?
Because it only happens to popular people, and like super popular people.
And you don't want to be one of them?
It just wouldn't happen. I mean, I'm not like super popular where everyone would vote for me to be queen. Because people vote for king and queen, so.
Alright.
Well,
Well-
at least if you're not popular if you're not super popular in high school, you are the star of our show. And thank you for
Yeah.
coming.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time and your help.
Yeah, of course.